When people look at Princess Leonor today, they often see confidence, elegance, and preparation for a future unlike any other. They see the heir to the Spanish throne, a young woman stepping into the spotlight with increasing assurance. But behind the public appearances and official ceremonies lies a personal journey that few truly understand. Every public figure has defining moments that change how they see themselves and their future. For Princess Leonor, there was a realization that quietly transformed her life. It wasn't announced in a royal statement. It wasn't revealed through headlines or palace reports. Yet it may have been one of the most important developments in her journey toward becoming Spain's future queen. Today, we're exploring the untold realization that transformed Princess Leonor's life and how it continues to shape her path forward. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. To understand this realization, we first need to look at the world into which Leonor was born. As the eldest daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, Princess Leonor entered a life defined by responsibility from the very beginning. Unlike most children, her future was largely determined before she could even understand what it meant. She wasn't simply a member of Spain's royal family. She was the future of the monarchy. As a young child, however, such concepts are difficult to fully comprehend. Titles and ceremonies can seem distant and abstract. The expectations of a nation are not something a child naturally understands. For many years, Leonor's life balanced public visibility with private development. Her parents worked carefully to ensure she experienced as normal a childhood as possible despite the extraordinary circumstances surrounding her. She attended school, spent time with friends, and shared countless experiences with her younger sister, Infanta Sofia. Yet as she grew older, reality began to reveal itself. Every appearance attracted media attention. Every speech became news. Every milestone was closely watched by the public. Gradually, Leonor began to realize something that would fundamentally transform her perspective. Her future wasn't simply about inheriting a title. It was about becoming a symbol. For many people, a symbol represents ideas larger than any individual. A future monarch represents continuity, stability, and national identity. Understanding this distinction can completely change how someone views their role. And for Leonor, this understanding appears to have become increasingly important as she matured. One of the earliest moments that hinted at this transformation came during her public speeches. Public speaking can be intimidating for anyone. For a young royal speaking before national audiences, the pressure is immense. Millions of people pay attention to every word. Commentators analyze every gesture. Expectations can feel overwhelming. Yet Leonor repeatedly demonstrated calmness and preparation. Observers noticed not only her confidence but also her seriousness. She seemed to understand that these appearances were more than formal obligations. They were opportunities to connect with people. This shift in perspective may have reflected a deeper realization. Instead of viewing royal duties as tasks to complete, she began to see them as opportunities to serve. That subtle change can transform everything. The difference between obligation and purpose is enormous. When people feel forced into a responsibility, it can become a burden. When they understand the purpose behind it, that same responsibility can become meaningful. For Leonor, recognizing the purpose of her role may have been one of the most important discoveries of her life. As the years passed, her education became another key factor in this transformation. Education has always played a central role in preparing future leaders. But for Leonor, it represented something even more significant. It offered a chance to understand the world beyond palace walls. When she attended UWC Atlantic College in Wales, she entered an environment filled with students from diverse cultures and backgrounds. The experience exposed her to perspectives very different from her own. Living alongside people from around the world can be transformative. It encourages independence. It develops empathy. It broadens understanding. For someone destined to represent an entire nation, these lessons are invaluable. During this period, many observers noted that Leonor appeared increasingly mature and self-assured. She seemed more comfortable in public settings, more confident in her communication, more prepared for the responsibilities ahead. Perhaps this growth reflected another important realization. Leadership is not about status. It is about understanding people. The most effective leaders often spend more time listening than speaking. They seek to understand different viewpoints. They recognize that leadership involves service rather than privilege. As Leonor interacted with classmates from various backgrounds, she likely gained experiences that deepened her understanding of these principles. And that understanding may have further transformed her outlook on the future. Another chapter in her journey came through military training. For many royal heirs across Europe, military education is considered an important preparation for future responsibilities. When Leonor began military training, the public followed her progress closely. Images of the princess participating in demanding exercises quickly attracted widespread attention. What impressed many observers was not simply her presence. It was her commitment. Military training requires discipline, it demands perseverance, it tests resilience. Participants must work as part of a team while maintaining personal accountability. These qualities are essential for leadership, but they also teach valuable lessons about character. For Leonor, military service likely reinforced a realization that had already begun taking shape. True leadership requires preparation. Success cannot be inherited. Respect cannot be inherited. Trust cannot be inherited. Those things must be earned. This realization may sound obvious, but it can profoundly influence how a person approaches life. Instead of relying on position alone, Leonor appears increasingly focused on earning public confidence through dedication and effort. This attitude has contributed significantly to her growing popularity. People tend to respect individuals who take responsibility seriously. And throughout her public appearances, Leonor has consistently demonstrated professionalism and commitment. Still, perhaps the most challenging aspect of her life remains constant public scrutiny. Imagine knowing that every appearance will be analyzed. Imagine understanding that every decision may become a national conversation. Imagine growing up under the attention of cameras and headlines. Few people experience such pressure. Yet Leonor has learned to navigate it with remarkable composure. This may reflect another important realization. Public attention is not something she can control. What she can control is how she responds to it. By focusing on preparation, discipline, and authenticity, she has gradually developed a public image characterized by responsibility and maturity. That image did not emerge overnight. It was built through years of consistent effort. And behind that effort lies an understanding that her actions matter not only for herself but also for the institution she represents. This brings us back to the untold realization that transformed Princess Leonor's life. At some point during her journey from childhood to adulthood, she appears to have recognized a fundamental truth. Her future was not defined by a crown. It was defined by responsibility. The crown itself is symbolic. The true challenge lies in serving the people connected to it. Once this realization takes hold, priorities change. Education becomes preparation. Public speaking becomes communication. Military training becomes leadership development. Every experience gains new significance. Instead of viewing her future as something predetermined, Leonor seems to view it as something that requires continuous effort and growth. That mindset may be one of the most important factors shaping her development today. Across Spain, many people see signs of this transformation. They see a young woman who appears increasingly prepared for the responsibilities ahead. They see confidence without arrogance, commitment without complaint, preparation without complacency. Of course, the future remains unwritten. No one can predict exactly what challenges Leonor will face in the years ahead. The world is constantly changing. Public expectations evolve. New circumstances emerge. But the qualities she has developed so far suggest she is building a strong foundation for whatever lies ahead. Perhaps that is why interest in her story continues to grow. People are not only watching a future queen. They are watching a young woman navigate one of the most unusual journeys imaginable. A journey filled with expectations. A journey shaped by responsibility. A journey transformed by a realization that changed everything. The realization that leadership is not about privilege. It is about service. Not about status, but about responsibility. Not about what a person receives, but about what they contribute. For Princess Leonor, understanding this truth may have been the defining moment of her life so far. And as she continues preparing for her future role, that realization will likely remain at the center of her journey. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more royal stories, news, and insights from around the world. What do you think has been the most important moment in Princess Leonor's journey so far? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time.